If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make it sound beautiful to guess, it doesn't make it smart you are who made the guess, or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I wouldn't. Did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I don't ever bother with a critic. Hit him with a chronicle of Riddick. Boom, bottle full of Ritalin. I hit him with a little bit of riddle me this, riddle me that. My bad, fell asleep at the gas. No time to wait though. Elon Musk, I'm trying to bankroll. New Tesla just cause I say so. Electric whip like Ivan Van Gogh. I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it.
I've been on a mission like totally spice. I'm a baddie, she bad, but she totally nice. Nails are blue and her toes feel like white. They completely match out at the soul for my leg. He knew it for sure, but he left with a why.
What is up, party people? Always got to figure out these fucking audio problems. All right, so today's gonna be a fun one. I'm not really sure how it's gonna go. It's kind of an impromptu stream. Or not impromptu. I had stuff planned, but then things came up, and you know how I roll. Things happen. So we're gonna go ahead and just basically start this up pretty damn quick. I got Sea Lion Prime and our new panel guest, Mr. Slave. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of him, but he's been hanging out over at the Globe Gangsters. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable, people. And because of that, I ended up having an interaction with him. You know how that goes with the new people. And ended up going to show up and say what's up to us and have this conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them onto the panel. Before I do that, let me go over and move this. All right. Okay. I'm comfortable now. Here we go. We'll bring Sea Lion up first. How you doing, sir? He couldn't hear me. Good morning.
Hello.
Sea Lion first. How you doing, sir? I think you are echoing. I think it's you. He couldn't hear me. Good morning. Yes,
Hello.
it is you. You're echoing.
Oh, wow. This is weird.
You are echoing. Do you have the YouTube up still?
Skill issue. Tora jumped on Mr. Slave in my VC, so he may not be able to make it over here.
He's here.
Oh,
bring him
he's
up.
here, but he's currently... Okay, there he goes.
Okay. What's up, Mr. Slave? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the panel.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here. How is everyone?
Doing good. Real good. Let me... where's that button? There it is. Nope, wrong one. Okay. So let introduce yourself to everyone, because not many people know who you are, and you are an interesting fella. Yes.
Thank you. I usually don't introduce myself because I try to not say... I want to avoid having the conversation to be about me. Mm-hmm. But all I can say is a couple of months ago, I started a deep dive into physics. Like until 2 months ago, I didn't get into quantum mechanics or anything physics, relativity. I didn't care too much for it. I mean, I was always curious about it, but like 2 or 3 months ago, I had a debate with someone about determinacy and indeterminacy, and after that debate, I mean, he brought up Bell's theorem. I got really upset that he was basically able to say the universe is whatever I want it to be because quantum physics is indeterminate. We don't know anything. Anything could be. And Bell's theorem and reality is not reality, and therefore there's no way for him to lose a debate. The debate was about, is the universe determinate or indeterminate? So anyway, after that I went to sleep really upset. It was a 5-hour debate. After that I went to sleep really upset. Obviously I couldn't sleep. I woke up in the morning. I decided that's enough. Enough is enough. I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to start studying quantum mechanics. I'm going to figure this thing out once and for all. Enough nonsense. And that's it. So I'm 2-3 months into my deep dive into quantum mechanics and relativity. Immediately, I came up with this ether theory that is really helpful. And I'm making progress slowly. The universe is becoming more and more mechanical with every passing day. Quantum mechanics is becoming less and less weird with every passing day. So hopefully I'll be finished soon. And I have some papers that I started writing. I want to publish a few papers and move on with my life.
So you did say that you didn't have any physics background or schooling
I
prior to that.
have. I don't want to talk about my
Okay,
personal
yeah, no,
life.
no worries. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, but I like everything I'm doing is streamed live on YouTube. So I'm watching YouTube videos about physics, like mainstream videos. Like right now, I'm in the middle of watching the Looking Glass universe about the Born rule in quantum mechanics. I don't know if you know anything about that. So I'm just. And yesterday I was watching a video about the Dirac notation, photon polarization. So I'm just studying, advanced physics, advanced, like I guess second year, third year, and so on.
Okay. Okay, so I was just kind of give people a background of it because obviously in these discussions, people are usually trying to figure out if they're talking to a flat earther, are they talking to a glober, concave, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to assume you're a glober. You just
I'm completely
evaluating.
vanilla. I'm vanilla mainstream big physics person. I don't disagree with big physics on anything.
Okay, so it's not a situation of rethinking how things are working. It's more of a situation of under just your understanding and you hearing people incorrectly interpret it.
I was it doesn't make any it didn't make any sense to me this claim that the universe is weird. It never sat well with me. So my intuition is or was that that cannot be the case, and the definition of science that so-called the universe is under no obligation to make sense to me, I reject that wholeheartedly. I feel
But
the universe must be understandable, mechanical, intuitive, so that a little baby can understand anything, any of the fundamental things that you show it. So if you show a baby the most fundamental interaction of an electron with a photon, it's going to make sense to a little baby if we could see it.
okay,
Underneath, it's all. Yeah, go ahead.
well, wouldn't you say that in that aspect of it that the only way for it to be simple would be to know all of it? I kind of so you said something that kind of rang bells in my head. So there's an issue with it that you say that the universe should be understandable to the most to a 2 year old basically. But I would say that yes, the universe is there is an understanding in which we can have at some point, but it having to be easily explainable, I think is a reach, a far reach. Only because I think if it was that simple, we wouldn't still have so many questions.
Okay, so I'm not saying that the universe is that I understand the universe, or I'm not even saying that that is a condition for my definition of science. That's not even a condition for my definition of science. I'm just saying it's understandable. So if I showed a little baby the interaction, if I could make a video of an actual photon interacting with an actual electron and so on, a little baby would see it and understand it. It should basically be like two billiard balls banging against each other and bouncing off or something like that. It should be
Mhm.
a mechanical cause and effect, simple interaction if we could see it. That's what I'm saying.
But
The fact that it's
but
Mhm.
isn't that statement in itself a contradiction? Because
Why?
because mainstream explains these things that we can't see, that are conceptualized essentially. Um, if it were that simple, then why would we have to come up with these conceptualized explanations for it?
Well, if you look at history, I mean, first of all, I'm just defining science like that. And I claim that if you don't accept this definition of science, then you believe in magic. Not because I want to like say something not as a pejorative, but as an honest understanding of who you are. You believe in a fantastic universe, and the science explainers, the communicators, as they like calling themselves, they say they say the universe is even weirder than we thought it could be, and stuff like that. They say that they live in a magical universe. It's not like I'm using a pejorative about them. That's what they say. As far as I'm concerned, they admit that to them the universe is magical. So there's no disagreement on anything. I'm saying the universe is not magical, and they're saying the universe is magical. But if you claim the universe is magical, then you believe in ghosts and demons and gods and goblins and heaven and hell and the rest of it. It's fine. There's many people like that. It's most of the planet. So it happens to be that the science communicators are also, they belong to this cult. It's fine. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm just not
Where
one of those.
who would you be able to quote someone that said the universe is magical?
They don't say the universe is magical, but they would say the universe is even weirder than we thought that it could be. And they say, especially when it comes to quantum physics, they say, oh, the it's not real. Every video I listen to about the wave equation, oh, the wave equation describes something unreal, and there's a wave equation to the universe. Like Sean Carroll, he has there's a wave equation of the universe. It's like, what are you talking about? A wave function of the universe? What are you talking about? The wave equation created by Schrodinger he just took De Broglie and Bohr seriously, and he was, and actually not even him. He was asked by the professor that invited him to speak about De Broglie. So the professor, after the lecture, came to Schrodinger and said, "Well, it's very nice that you presented De Broglie's particle wave theory, but if it's a wave, then what's the wave equation?" So Schrodinger said, "Hold my beer," took 6 months, and came back with a wave equation to describe the electron. Because de Broglie said it's a wave, and Bohr took that seriously, and Bohr made predictions, and these predictions are very, the Bohr model makes amazing predictions and explanations. So Schrodinger just took the next step. Oh, so let's 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 assume a wave equation. Something is waving. Let's assume the electron is waving around the nucleus, and plug in the constraints, which are de Broglie and Planck and energy conservation. And voila, you have the wave equation. It's really very straightforward. There's nothing bizarre or weird about it. There's a video that I watched that derives the wave equation in literally 7.5 minutes from first principles. It's
When
really
you
very straightforward. Hmm. Go
which
ahead.
part when you said magical, which part would be considered of that magical?
Like when you listen to people, like pull up YouTube and write the wave equation. Any video you watch, it's going to be about how it's not a real, it doesn't describe a real thing and stuff like that.
It
On
describes it as a
average,
conceptualization.
I don't know, whatever they do, it's not a real thing. To me, if it's not a real thing, then you belong to that cult
But
that
didn't
is
you
most
just
of the planet.
but
Hmm.
didn't you just say you saw a video of these experiments and that's why you think it should be simple and easy?
No. So my assumption is, my working assumption or my definition of science is such that the universe is under an obligation to be simple, mechanical, intuitive, understandable to a baby. That's my working definition of science. And my claim is, if you don't subscribe to this definition, then you believe in a magical universe.
I
That's my
would
claim.
say, okay, I
Mhm.
would say upon your claim that what you define as science is a magical claim. I think it is ridiculous to think that something that we don't understand should be simple to understand. That line of
That's
thinking what I would consider to be more magical than the colloquial definition of science, which is the pursuit of application of knowledge and understanding of the natural and social world following a systematic methodology based on evidence. That is leading up to what you say should be done. So to make it a simple process, a simple explanation, a simple understanding, it takes science to be able to understand it, then to be able to explain it to quote unquote a 2-year-old.
there's no contradiction. No, first of all, you bring up a good point. First of all, it's a good point. So I need to contend with the good point. But the rest of what you said, there's no contradiction to anything I said. But let's go step by step. So what you said is that my approach, my definition of science is magical, which is, I can understand that. That is one of the problems with magic, that I don't have a good definition for magic. So my point is, my working definition of science, my working assumption when I wake up in the morning is that the universe is simple, intuitive, mechanical, understandable to a baby. That's just my assumption. Now, if you don't subscribe to that, then I don't know what business do you have with logic, with science. Like, why are you researching anything? Right? The universe is under no obligation to make sense. So why are you trying to make sense of it? If your assumption is that the universe is under no obligation to make sense, then why try to make sense of it? Just say it's under no obligation to make sense and done.
But that's
And
the
that
thing.
is.
But
Mhm.
that would be the where I think you're contradicting yourself or not understanding the contradiction of it, because
Okay.
the universe is of no obligation. We don't have to understand it. There is no end goal to understanding it. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no we have to. We choose to, which is why we call it science, because it's just a pursuit to understand it. To understand it all would it was be what I was referring to as the magical part of it. It's assuming that we should understand it all. It has to be
Anyway,
science. You're putting science before the understanding.
look, I'm not saying we understand it or I understand it. That's not what I'm saying. That's actually irrelevant. Whether I understand anything in this universe or not is irrelevant to my working assumptions. It's just
But
an assumption.
that's another contradiction.
What do you mean? What am I contradicting?
If for your definition of science, the universe should be simple, and anything beyond that is magical. But what you're saying is that you don't have enough of an understanding to know everything. So therefore, what you're saying is that science, and this is not you quoting, science, the magical thing you're trying to understand, and because it's not simple, it's not correct. You're just placing the term science on unna- unknown phenomena or phenomenon which can't be explained or observed.
Okay, maybe we're not understanding each other because you're misquoting my definition and my assumption. So
Well,
we might not be.
I definitely
Mhm.
stated that what I just said was not a quote. It was my perception of your stance.
Okay, but then let's at least make sure that we understand each other. That you're not misunderstanding my position. I feel maybe you're a little bit misunderstanding my position. So my position is I'm assuming the universe is understandable. That ultimately, if we could see the interaction of an electron and a photon, or two electrons, if we could see the interaction, a baby could understand it just by looking at it. That's just my assumption. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is that the electron and the photon are doing something we cannot understand. How could that? So what are they doing? If I cannot
Wait.
understand,
I'm sorry, Mr. Slave. I have to do this. Everyone stop. Thank you for the super chat, Sea Lion Prime. He says, if magic is all we've ever known, then it's easy to miss that really what really goes on. But I've seen miracles in every way, and I see miracles every day. That was poetic. Do appreciate that though. Go ahead. I'm
Mhm,
sorry. I do. Just so you know, if I get a super
mhm.
chat, I stop everything to make that front and center. Go
Yeah,
ahead though.
yeah,
You're good.
understandable. Okay, so look, again, it's just an assumption, right? I'm just assuming, but I have to. It's not like I have any leeway, any tolerance, other than to define or to assume the universe is such. I have to assume I can understand the universe
Stop.
because
Stop.
what
Stop.
is the
Stop. 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 Sorry. Thank you again, Sea Lion Prime. Okay. I was just making sure it didn't go together. Water, fire, air, dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work? And I don't want to talk to to a scientist. Y'all motherfuckers lying and getting me pissed.
wait? This is Sea Line. Isn't Sea Line with us?
Yeah. Do you not know the reference, John, that I just had you read out?
It seems familiar.
It's from Insane Clown Posse.
Okay, now I know exactly. Now it referenced
It's that
not
dumbass
nicely.
miracle song that they made that everyone made fun of.
Is it both super chats?
Yes.
Okay, then I want to do it right.
Yeah.
Okay. If magic is all we've ever known, then it's easy to miss what really goes on. But I've seen miracles in every way, and I've seen miracles every day. Water, fire, air, and dirt, fucking magnets. How do they work? And I don't want to talk to a scientist. Y'all motherfuckers are lying and getting me pissed. Okay. Okay. Mr. Slave, continue.
Anyway, look, I, I, if look, the universe splits in two. There's two types of people, or there's two ways you can go about living your life. You could either assume the universe makes sense and then start looking for the sense, meaning what I would say causality, the simple causal cause and effect,
Hmm.
or you can assume it's not. It's under, as they say, it's under no obligation to make sense to you. In that case, you have no reason to be a scientist. Why are you looking to make sense of the universe if it's under no obligation to make sense? I just don't. You see, you should be a religionist. Go
Okay.
worship. Mhm.
Do you feel obligated? Okay, this is just questioning for understanding. Do you feel obligated to explain yourself to me?
No.
But I am inquisitive of your thoughts. So
Okay.
I am quote unquote applying science to better understand what you're saying.
Right, but but if
Wait,
I
wait, wait,
were,
wait, 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 wait. I'm sorry again. Fucking sea lion, man. We talked about this. You're on the fucking panel. All right, hang on. Thank you for the super chat, Sea Lion. I do appreciate it. He says, "Is this wait fucking a? Is it all one thing still?"
You can just read the last one this time.
Okay, okay. Are you sure? Because if it's one thing, I feel
No, it's
obligated. Okay,
It's fine. It's fine. You
okay.
can just read the last one.
I fed a fish to a pelican at Frisco Bay. It tried to eat my cell phone. He ran away.
That's also in the song. Yeah.
See, was it? Is it the next line?
No. I
Okay,
picked lines. I picked the best lines from the song.
Mr. Slave.
yes.
You can blame Sea Lion for this one.
No, I mean, I don't. I'm not following. I wasn't. I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
No worries. He wasn't. It wasn't in response to anything you said. He's just being silly. Okay, but
Hmm.
to what you're saying, because what I'm really trying to figure out
Hmm.
is why you feel the universe is under any obligation
Hmm. It's a
to be
matter of
known
speech. Of
for
course,
us.
no. Of course, the universe is under no obligation. I'm just taking what science communicators say in general. The
Mm,
quote is, "The universe is under no obligation to make sense to you." They keep saying that when they
yeah.
explain how quantum mechanics makes no sense. Oh, quantum mechanics makes no sense at the foundational level.
Oh, okay.
It's not that we don't understand quantum mechanics yet. They never say that. They always say we cannot understand. It's not understandable. It's not, it's
Mm,
like, okay, yes. What do
I
you mean?
don't feel like they say it's impossible to understand, but I feel like that the statement that you
Really?
just made, yeah, the statement that you just made about about it to me, all I took from that was science is saying that the universe isn't going to give us the answers. We have
No,
to we have to search ourselves.
I never said that. Of course, I
No. You
agree.
didn't say that, but your statement about how science says that say your statement again about what scientists say about the knowledge of the universe.
What the mainstream, like a science communicator, which is usually a physics communicator, what a physics communicator usually says, I've never heard any one of them. Maybe Sabine Hossenfelder. She's less like everybody else. She's more mechanical. She, like, a lot of the magic in quantum mechanics she removes, but I wouldn't say completely. She's not completely understandable. But in general, science communicators, they say, "Oh, quantum mechanics, we don't understand it, and we cannot understand it, and it's not understandable at the level of the very foundation of the universe." Stuff like that. And it's not just I mean, we could talk about quantum mechanics, but I've heard people in special relativity also say this. I mean, people
Wait,
like,
do
yeah.
you think quantum mechanics is more simplistic than is perceived?
Um. So, mm, so I told you my assumption. My assumption is that ultimately quantum mechanics is mechanical. Certainly, I believe in the ether. So the ether is a fluid in which quantum mechanical objects participate and interact. So of course it's mechanical. So that's as far as I'm concerned. And the fact that we don't understand the mechanics completely yet, that's like, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago,
What
or
would
a few thousands years ago. Go ahead.
what would be your evidence for an ether?
So there's a lot of evidence for ether, as long as you're willing to look at it. So The very fact that light is a wave. Soon, when you decide that light is a wave, which we know from Young's original double slit experiment, not the particle duality double slit experiment. The original Young experiment, he just passed light through two slits and he got an interference pattern. So once you decide light is a wave, then the next question is, oh, then what is it waving through? Now, whatever it is that is waving, that it's waving through,
Sorry.
it's okay. That thing must be all over the universe because we're able to see galaxies on the other side of the universe. That
What?
means we're able to see galaxies on the other side of the universe.
Ooh,
No, we're not.
I
What?
don't think so. Everybody stop. Everybody stop. Again, thank you, Sea Lion Prime, my biggest supporter. We're gonna get married one day. There's something special between us now. How do I pick up chicks? In the post hack, a ergo. The fuck? Propter, Hector, Copter? What the fuck are you saying, man?
You gotta say it right, John. I gave you a lot of money today.
It's a logical fallacy.
How do I pick up chicks in a post hoc argo propter
Ergo.
hoc copter?
In my post hoc ergo propter hoc copter.
Fucking tongue twisters, man. Texlex, where are you? What the fuck? She's supposed to be reading these damn things. Okay.
And Gregory is my co-pilot.
Gregory, Jesus.
Because Gregory walks into the club and he walks up to a girl and he says, premise one. If Gregory is in the club, all women are attracted to Gregory. Premise two. Gregory is in the club. Therefore, you are attracted to Gregory. And it works every time.
Does he third person it in regular conversation?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
That's crazy.
I don't
I
know,
wouldn't
man.
punch him for that.
He would surprise me if he did.
I've actually met people on here that do that. It's very weird.
Oh, really?
You don't know him? Guy named Chemo. You'd have loved Chemo.
Yeah.
He used to do it a lot. Chemo would be like what I consider like the number 2 flat earther ever.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah. I'll play you some old Chemos. That's what I was. Oh, speaking of which, I apologize, guys. I got to do this though. So I had been talking about my membership thing. I'm gonna do it. Because it just made me remember things like Chemo, Debbie Durant, all these flat earthers from back in the day that really, I would say, really put flat earth on the map. No one gets to hear them. No one's ever heard them. 99% of the people that, the servers that had these people there didn't record or don't have their links up or anything anymore. So I'm going to do the membership thing. I think it will be $199 a month, if I remember correctly. I got to remember. I don't remember because I changed it a few times. But basically, every week I'm going to put out 2 of this just random fucking old school recordings that I have from back in the day. Only good stuff. It's not going to be boring crap. But that's what I'm going to do with that. So when you start seeing that come up, that will be so far what is entailed with the membership. It will just be uploads upon uploads of stuff that I put it this way. There'll be stuff I can't show on YouTube for worry that I'll get banned. But with the membership, I can put them unlisted and I don't have to worry about that part. So you guys will enjoy that. Back to what we were talking about. I forgot. All I can remember is Gregory's third person. What were we saying? Oh, we were talking about how quantum is much simpler, and then you were talking about the wave particle duality.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is a situation in your mind, is light a wave?
Yeah.
But wouldn't that?
It's a way. It's a wave packet. I mean, I agree. I, I'm not gonna say anything that contradicts mainstream science. So mainstream science sometimes gets it right that light is a wave packet. It's a wave that seems to maintain its integrity. Look, I'm not sure.
Wait, hang
I
on.
did,
So that makes so if it's a light is physical, then
light is physical. Everything is physical. If it's not
hmm.
physical, then we're not going
Unmute
to talk
yourself,
about it.
sea lion. Clarify what I'm trying to say.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm trying. He says light's a wave,
Yeah.
and in that sense, wasn't the debate whether or not wave light was physical? Or is
Uh,
this not part of it?
no,
No, no,
yeah,
no.
that's what I was getting into with Gregory was if light is physical versus material, because Gregory was saying that what is material is the property of being matter, and therefore light itself is matter, which it creates some issues. But light would nonetheless be physical, in my view, in the sense that physicality is, to channel Gregory, physicality is the property of existing outside the mind.
Oh, geez, that's where you got that shit from. Fucking
Oh,
ass.
yeah.
Okay, so then my question would be this:
Mm-hmm.
solar wind. Wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
that make no? Because that's just the solar exciting the particles that makes their solar wind. Am I right or am I
Yes.
wrong?
Solar wind is not photon like photon radiation or light radiation. Solar
Huh?
wind solar wind includes more stuff than just light.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I just figured. Yeah, it just came to me.
Right.
Yeah, solar wind is like charged particles that radiate off the sun.
Yeah, because of
Right.
this. Yeah.
But light itself has momentum, so light itself can push a solar sail. I mean, there's videos on YouTube where they actually have basically little
Wait.
aluminum
So
foils.
are you saying
They
that
let this. Go ahead.
I could
Mhm.
hang a balloon, turn a flashlight on, and the balloon will move?
It does move theoretically.
Wait,
You
no,
can do.
wait,
There's
wait. I'm so confused. Hang on, I'm confused as fuck right now. Because what you just said made me think that if I have a balloon and I turn my flashlight on it, the flashlight will move because light is physical.
the flashlight moves
No,
and
no,
the
no.
balloon moves.
Huh?
The light that comes out of your flashlight is pushing the flashlight a little bit back because light has momentum. So as the light bounces away from the flashlight, action equals reaction. So your flashlight is being repelled backwards, and that same momentum, as it impacts on the balloon, it causes the balloon to move backwards, to be repelled. Light has momentum. We see
Kind of.
that in
Wait.
Maxwell's.
I'm sorry, Mr. Slave. Uh, sea lion. Is that correct?
If Mr. Slave said it about physics, it's generally what I would say incorrect.
I'm sorry. No. Okay. I don't know you,
So if
Mr.
you're
Slave.
stepping
I don't
down,
know you, so I don't know what to
down,
compare what you say to fact or not. And I'm stupid. So I don't know, but I'm very confused by what you're saying.
Okay, I'll show you a video. There's many YouTube videos where they conduct this experiment of solar, like sunlight moving
oh yeah,
tinfoil.
that's a real thing. Yeah, light produces pressure. So there's an
Yeah,
idea to use like a solar sail as a form of space travel, where it would essentially like pick up it would be pushed along, and even though
Oh,
or you could use a laser as a form of propulsion with a giant sail. And the idea is even though the impulse is very, very low at any particular time, it builds up essentially infinitely, right? And so
but
over time, it actually approaches the speed of light. That's the idea anyway, but I think there's issues with the design.
okay, because I'm confused even more now because I just typed in, does light have momentum or mass? It says it has momentum but no mass. But then
Correct.
how can it build pressure? How could it? Is that
It's
that's the paradox, isn't it?
yeah. I think I don't exactly
Mhm.
know how it works, but like it does interact with matter, right? So when a photon strikes an atom, it has an effect on the atom. I don't know if that like effect, which is usually like changing the energy level, which is like I think how the photoelectric effect occurs, causes the pressure, as it were. I don't really understand that well.
But even if you agree that light, right, light moves an electron, that's all you need. An electron has mass, and light, right, electromagnetic radiation, right, right. So the way it starts, so an
Man,
electron
I'm
bounces up and
confused.
down.
Hmm.
So the way it works is that the way to create an electromagnetic wave is basically by moving a charged particle like an electron. So imagine an electron going up and down and creating a vibration in the ocean of the electromagnetic field. Okay, so far so good.
Hmm.
Do you? I mean, there's a YouTube video for each topic. I mean, so like you can just watch YouTube videos. That's what I do all day and all night.
Well, I think YouTube videos are a really good start, but if you want to have a full understanding of it, I think you have to actually dive deeper. Especially because on YouTube, any every other upload can be something different. So which one would you verify to be true?
No, I just one of the advantages of YouTube is to watch experiments, people conducting experiments.
Hmm.
So it's
Okay.
really a quick way to go through many, many, many experiments really quickly.
So if I look up on YouTube, I can search light pushing balloon.
I don't think there is a video of someone discussing that, but there is videos that I've seen of the rotating aluminum foil. Let me find that for you.
Yeah, that's like the easiest one. It's usually something that's like very small mass. I think SE Montreal has talked about this before because he's trying to like say something about I don't know something. It's always hard to tell with him.
I am so confused. Let my
Well,
confusion end. Science.
yeah, light because we say light has no mass. So people think that it shouldn't have momentum because momentum is mass times velocity. So people think, oh, light has no mass. Of course, it has no momentum. But um, well, apparently it has momentum with no mass.
Do you find it odd that you think the universe should be easy to explain, but yet your explanations are confusing me?
It's okay. It's okay to be confused because we don't have access to the lowest level. We can't see the quantum world, so we have to guess. It's like we're blind walking in a maze. Like walking in a maze is difficult enough if you're not blind. Imagine being blind walking in a maze and everybody and or a three-dimensional maze. It's very difficult. Imagine a huge maze of a million by a million by a million
Yeah,
kilometers,
but
three-dimensional.
you can just be smart and ask for help.
Maybe ChatGPT next version will help us. But for now, I'm making good progress. With every passing day, quantum mechanics makes more and more sense. It's becoming more mechanical. You
So
can
do you
ask me, I
think
think.
do you feel that you have a complete understanding of Newtonian physics?
Yeah, Newtonian is a piece of cake. Yeah, sure.
Do you believe you have a complete understanding of general relativity?
No, but I can have a conversation about a lot of predictions of GR. I understand, the philosophy. I have an alternative, a better explanation of gravity. GR is just an explanation of gravity,
I would
and
love
it
to hear
fails
your
at
better explanation.
right. So my explanation
Boy,
is
here it comes.
What
Yeah.
did I just do something dumb? Should I have not have done that?
Oh no, it was bound to happen. This is the meat. This
Oh,
is the
okay.
meat. This is the meat of the Mr. Slave sandwich. Other than the
Okay.
other meat,
I'm excited.
other than the other meat that we can't talk about on YouTube, that we will talk about on this.
Oh wow!
Oh my god.
Now I know
Wait
why
a
you guys get along so well.
Wait a minute, Sea Lion, you didn't tell me you're gay.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
Wait,
How do you know?
I thought you were a woman.
Who, me?
Wait,
Yeah, didn't someone say you were a woman? Who was that?
Oh well, no. He was trying to use that as an excuse to back out of the MMA fight, but he just decided his
Oh.
excuse is that he's a bitch. So it was easier to go with that route. And then Quad called him a bitch. And when Quad calls you a bitch in text chat, I mean, you kind of just have to quit the internet, you know?
Yeah, he means it. He speaks for the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
so Sea Lion, I'm assuming you're not lying when you're saying you're gay, but I mean the way I know when what?
Not lying.
So the way I was working off of the way you spoke about my meat, like a hetero dude would never say that. That's something a hetero would never say.
You've
That's
never been
fair.
in a locker room before, have you?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
In a
I'm
locker.
gonna-
Wait, you get. Wait a minute.
Wait. Sean,
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction. No. Never in his life.
Okay, Sean, you're gay
Yes.
too. How do I know?
Well, I'm a lesbian.
You're gay. You're not gay.
I'm a lesbian. If you
Are
yeah,
you
I guess
gay
I
or
guess that
not?
if I qualify myself as a lesbian, then I guess I'm gay.
No. Wait a minute. You're not gay. I could see your room. You're not gay. No,
Wait,
you're not
what?
gay.
Wait. Hang on. Wait, that was confusing. Hang on. The wolf.
That's
hanging
not a
on-
gay.
The wolf.
That's
The
not
wolf
a.
blanket
No,
hanging on my wall isn't gay.
No. This room is not gay.
The kid
This
toy
room-
trains. That's okay. Cool. Got it.
This room is not gay. You're not gay. Your shirt is not gay. Your wall, everything in this room is not gay. You're not gay.
Okay.
So
I'm not gay, but
you're not gay. Period. Your room. I don't care. Your room is not gay.
I concur with Mr. Slave. There's way too much that says not gay in that room right now.
Yeah.
and it's only part of the room you guys can see.
It doesn't matter.
You don't see
Enough,
all the other
it's enough.
stuff. And
I don't
even
even-
better, but yeah.
I don't
no,
need to see your room. Your shirt is not gay. That's the end of that.
Yep, that's true.
oh, you know what? I get it now. Cause Sea Lion, that one sweater, the Charlie Brown one, that's gay.
Okay. I don't even need to see your I don't even need to see your shirt. Your beard is not gay.
Your critique is kind of gay though. If you think about it.
Wait,
Just-
Sea Lion, am I right? His beard says not gay?
Yes.
Exactly, cat with the Ebola. Exactly.
See, it's not trimmed, it's not groomed. A gay guy would have it groomed to the nth degree.
You know, I was gonna shave. but then
Look
I
at
No,
was
it's
all
not
like,
about shaving. It's about grooming, it's about trimming. You're not gay. You're not. You're totally hetero. That's gay.
That is kind of gay. I mean, if
Oh my god, but that's a gay room. You're in a gay room. You're in a non-gay room. Show me the rest of the room.
that is
No.
kind
Let
of
me-
gay.
I won't.
You're violating your gayness. Your shirt is not gay.
He doesn't want you to see the fucking shelf. of
He's
bananas.
at home. He's. I would not have
Okay,
guessed
hang on,
you're
hang on.
gay.
What would a gay room look like?
Meticulous.
I'm gonna tell you right
Everything
now.
would be-
I can tell he's not gay because he has nothing on his walls, and I can also tell he's not married.
So he's
because
been
he has
lying.
nothing on his walls. Go like this.
Okay,
Do
so
this. Do this. Hang on. Do this.
Fun and
See it.
easy.
Do this. See. Seal, do this. Put both your hands up. Yep, not married.
That
And he
doesn't mean
spends
anything.
too much time on the fucking internet to have a live-in girlfriend.
Yeah, that's true.
See?
Wait, but Sea Lion, you're not gay.
I have sex with men.
Interesting.
I feel like you're doing it,
But
Mr.
you are
Mr.
top.
Slave,
Okay,
and
here,
you're not
listen to this.
answering.
No,
Listen,
I'm not a top. I'm not a top.
You're not a. You're not a top.
I feel like a
Wow,
lot is
you're-
happening right now.
Oh my god.
Just so everyone knows,
Sean-
this isn't a grinder dating app. I'm telling people in
No,
the chat.
I'm-
You guys continue
I'm
your
just-
conversation. I don't want people to come in and think that's what's happening. I'm
No.
I'm
Look, I'm just
confused.
doing.
After the last stream, everything about Sea Lion it's up in the air. I don't fucking know. I personally believe that if you walked out that door, you would see just like a crate of money.
Yeah.
When he goes
Here,
to
I'll
the
show you.
bathroom, he wipes his ass with money.
Anyway, so
you
what
show
you
that
just
up.
witnessed was just my analysis. This was a scientific analysis of gayness.
Oh, you're such a bachelor. You're a
What
bachelor for
is
sure.
that?
It's a 17th century Fujian tea chest.
Jesus.
And then I also have this, which is a. It's not super nice, but. And then out here, this is my favorite. It is a. You see that?
Yeah, of course.
So that
Wait,
is a,
oh,
that
the
is
antique.
yeah, that is a solid teak root chair from the Isle of Java, crafted out of
Jesus.
one continuous piece of teak.
Oh
You
my
know what?
god.
I believe you're going to Antarctica. You want to know why? Because you're the type of motherfucker that would be like, I just got back from a cave in Egypt.
And then this is the view out my
Where do
balcony.
you live? Where is this? You live like in the wilderness?
Oh, this is
America.
Lakewood, Colorado.
Wow.
right.
So
I wanna
you
go
know
to
the
Colorado
guys
so
from
bad.
South Park?
No. How do I know the guys from South Park, bro? Do I look like that kind of person?
I think they're
Yeah,
gay too.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I think yes, you do seem like the type that would know the guys from South Park. You are a mixed bag. I don't think there's anyone could say you're not gay. You were talking about getting pussy the other day.
Well, okay, I'm bisexual.
Today.
Bisexual.
Interesting.
That's not no. There's no
that
such thing
explains
as
a
hang on.
lot.
Time out. There's no such thing as bisexual. You're just
Why
fucking
not?
what's it's called? You're selfish.
Okay, I'll take
Why
it.
would
I'm
you-
selfish.
It is what it is. You can't pick. You got to have one. You have your
Okay,
cake and eat it too.
Here's a piece of counter evidence. Can I show you? I guess I'll text message it to you. Piece of counter evidence to me actually being gay. All right, you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta find the photo.
Counter evidence
I
to
have
you
a very
being gay?
good photo of myself. Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear you. What?
Dress. He's gonna be in high heels. I know it.
No,
No,
that's I'm saving that for the Lady Cavendish Globe Science Drag Hour.
Wait, so what you're gonna show Sean is you with another guy?
No, because then I would dox the other guy, and that's not fair.
Oh,
Yeah, that's rude.
Especially in I would never expose another gay man to the fucking flat Earth community. Are you kidding me?
I feel like you're the type that has like a girl, and then like when she wants to come over, you're like, I gotta work tomorrow, baby.
Yeah, that is actually.
Wait a minute. So, Sea
let me ask
Lion.
you something. Quick question though, guys. How many what is the maximum number of dates that you think I've been on in one weekend?
Well, you're gay, so it could be 20.
10.
5. The answer is 5.
You're
Yeah.
a slut. You're literally a slut.
No, he's actually conservative for a gay guy. Gays have.
Here you go, Sean. Here's my gay photo. Here's my affirmative evidence of being gay. Let's share it with the screen, please.
Oh yeah, that's gay. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's show it. This was on my gay trip to New York.
You want me to show it?
Yes.
No. Oh, okay.
You want me to show this?
Yes.
You
Stream
sure?
it.
Oh jeez, You want me to show this? You sure?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna make a disclaimer. Anyone who suddenly falls in love with sea lion or instantly is just just instantly feels sick inside, it is completely understandable after you see this. You sure?
Yeah.
You don't want me to blur that anything out?
No, it's all good.
Okay, I'll show
The
you.
guy that doesn't even live in that apartment anymore. So
There you go.
there you go, guys.
Yeah, any guy that wears all white, but more importantly, then takes a picture.
Yep.
And then shares it with another guy. Evidence. We just did science, motherfuckers. We just did
That's
science.
not. I wouldn't say that's gay.
What is? Are you kidding?
Your pants are not tight enough for it to be gay.
No,
He's
those are
wearing
linen pants.
all white.
Those are linen pants, my dude.
Unless you're
Well,
at
the
a
fact
fuck
that you-
party. Unless you're at a fuck party, that's not okay.
Yeah. This
Anyway,
time I wasn't. So
And then again, the other issue is more importantly than what he is wearing, is that he took the picture. And then even more important than that he sent it to me.
yeah. That is all. That is all chain of steps that would not happen unless I was willing to. I don't know. Let's say engage in activities.
Did you know that gay guys have sex with women too? I didn't know this until I had gay friends, and then they told me. Like, basically, anytime a gay guy and a girl go out and they get drunk, if they don't leave with somebody, that's a gay pass. So all you out there motherfuckers with wives and they're like, it's my gay friend. The night she comes stumbling in, it happened.
Yeah. All right. Here's another fun one before we move on. The books that are on my desk. I have 5 books on my desk. You know.
I feel like you have like a dead body somewhere in that house. What kind of car do you drive?
Toyota 4Runner.
I think we already talked about this before.
Yeah. I used to have another one, but I gave it to my sister.
Motherfucker, yeah, you definitely need to set that shit up for overland if you live in Colorado.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna hit you up next year because next year me and my girl are doing an overland trip up there. I think towards Junction.
Yeah, Junction. That's a good spot to go. There's some really good trails out there.
I want to do
The best one to
Pass.
do, Sean, is the White Rim Trail around Canyonland.
Mm-hmm. I know the trail.
That's like a 5-day trip, I think, and it's fairly technical. But that's
what I want to do. Yeah, because the Black Bear one is from what I've heard is fairly short in the world of overland or off-roading, overlanding up there. I think it's just a bypass really down to town, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but that's what we want to do. Go up there and spend 2 weeks up there. Find caves and shit because I'm a spunker.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Canyonlands is my favorite place on earth, or one of them, other than Alta ski area. But yeah.
Anyway,
back to the topic.
Anywho, yeah.
What's the topic? Yeah. I'm distracted because I still have that picture on my one of the screens. You were just there. That's you. I won't show him the other ones. The other ones he doesn't have clothes on. Fucking super weird. Okay, so back to quantum being kindergarten easy.
I'm not saying that quantum right now is kindergarten easy. Quantum right now, we don't understand it. Look, if you look at it with historical perspective, so like thousands of years ago.
I'm sorry. I'm only doing this because I fucked up and we took it way off track. You were telling me about the ether gravity.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to understand, so I believe in the ether as the unified field theory that unifies all the branches of physics under one roof and simplifies all of physics. Um, yeah. So it starts with gravitation. So the ether explains everything very simply. So the ether is, you can imagine it as this fluid that fills the universe. So the ether is that medium through which light travels, because light, we know, is a wave. Young proved using his double slit experiment that light interferes with itself. The only thing we know that interferes with itself, that creates a wave pattern, is a wave. Particles don't create interference patterns. We cannot explain Young's interference pattern, Young's double slit experiment. We cannot explain it unless we assume that the universe is filled with a fluid and that light as a wave travels through this fluid and then goes through two slits, interferes with itself, and creates the interference pattern. So this was the working assumption. Once Young discovered that light is a wave, basically they started assuming that the universe is filled with this. They called it the luminiferous ether. That is the medium through which light is waving, and it means that the universe is filled to the rim with this fluid, because we can look at the other side of the universe and we see stuff on the other side of the universe. The only way that stuff can arrive into at my eyes is if there is a fluid filling the void between me and the other side of the universe. Therefore, the universe must be completely filled with this fluid through which light waves.
Okay.
So that's the luminiferous ether. On top of that, I discovered, as I was looking into Newtonian gravity, I discovered that if you take Newton's second law of motion, F equals ma, and Newton's universal law of gravity or gravitation, that is F equals negative gmm over r squared, and you try to solve for the force that a mass is experiencing due to gravity, so you just say the force of gravity equals the force of acceleration, so ma equals gmm over r squared. The m's drop out and you have a equals gm over r squared. So there is acceleration of whatever it is accelerating everywhere in the universe due to a point mass. So if you have an empty universe and there is a point mass at the center of this empty universe, like Earth, try to imagine. Wait, are you following?
Yes.
Do you want to ask questions?
Nope. Not yet.
Okay. So let's talk about gravitational ether. So luminiferous ether, we proved that the luminiferous ether must fill the universe. There's no other way. That's the luminiferous ether. The next step is the gravitational ether. So you know what? Let me even ask you a question. So why does the apple fall from the tree and accelerate towards the ground?
Due to a force.
Right. But that's called begging the question. You're not answering the question.
Oh, okay.
So why
Because
is there?
there is a gravitational attraction between the two masses, Earth
Why?
and said objects.
What's causing it?
Oh, we don't know.
Right. So, but if I asked you, if I put you, let's evacuate the universe of everything. Let's have an empty universe and let's create a space capsule. In the space capsule, I'm going to put uh, a ground. Let's pretend let's put some soil on one side of this space capsule, and let's put an apple tree and an apple in the apple tree. And now let's cut the connecting thread of, what do you call that connects the apple to the tree. Let's cut it. And I want you to do whatever it takes in order to simulate the force of gravity and cause the apple to fall and accelerate towards the ground. What would you do? Do you want
On
me to repeat the
Earth,
question?
on Earth, I would just cut
No.
it.
No. So right now we're in outer space. The
Mm-hmm.
universe is empty. It's an empty universe. All there
Okay.
is a
We're in a void.
we're in a void. There's a space capsule. In the space capsule, we pretend we put some soil against one side of the space capsule. We're going to pretend that's the ground.
Okay.
We're going to plant an apple tree in the ground. Here is an apple tree, and there's an apple in the apple tree. Now, I'm going to cut the connection of the apple to the apple tree, and I want the apple to accelerate towards the ground.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do in order to simulate gravity so that the apple would accelerate towards the ground?
I would add a force to it.
Yep.
No, I need you to do it. Tell me what to do, not
I would.
tell me a
Oh,
story.
okay. I'd put in. I'd do work and make it go in the direction I want.
Okay, but you're not allowed to be there. So it has to be
What?
some.
Okay.
You need to solve it. So
I'm
I'm
going to
asking.
put. I'm going to put
Mhm.
the rocket or the capsule into a cylindrical spin that will create a artificial gravity.
Okay, that's good. But on Earth, right, we're trying to simulate gravity. So on Earth, we're not spinning. So, but it's a good solution. But
Well,
let's
you said
put that
not.
aside.
You said not. You said in the void of space that
Yes, yes, yes.
if we were
I'm trying.
performing interstellar travel, that would be one of the
Yes.
methods to simulate gravity.
Yes. 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 But I'm trying to explain actual gravity. I'm actually trying to explain why the apple falls from the
Oh, you're
tree
saying
towards.
you know the cause of gravity.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
want you to discover it for yourself.
I'd rather
So
you
I'm
just
gonna.
tell me. But go ahead,
Okay.
continue. Continue.
Well, it's up to you. If you want, we could go through the
Oh yeah, this is good.
uh Socratic method. Okay.
Yeah, no, we can just go through it. Go ahead.
Okay. So you have the space capsule. So you gave me one solution to spin the capsule in order to create artificial gravity. That's very nice. But I'm trying to create gravity as we see it in our universe. Things don't we know how to create artificial gravity through spinning, but the earth, we're not spinning right now. There's no gravity created through spinning. Right now gravity exists. We don't know why, and I'm trying to simulate it. So
Mhm.
let's try and simulate it.
Okay.
So besides spinning, what else could you do to cause the apple to accelerate towards the so-called ground?
Uh, have the capsule be going up.
Good. That's very good, but also we know on Earth we're not going up. But it's a good solution. But let's put that aside. Come up
Okay.
please with another solution.
Does it have to be to the same effect, or just have the around
I just
effect?
want I just want you to cause the apple to accelerate towards the ground.
I feel like you want me to say a magnet.
I don't want you to say anything. A
Okay.
magnet, if you would say, you can say a magnet, I'll tell you the problem with that answer. But if you want,
Okay.
you can. You should say whatever you want to say, not
Okay.
what you think I want you to say.
Okay. A magnet.
A magnet. Okay. So the problem with an answer like the magnet is we would still, right. We're trying to solve why is there action at a distance. How could the moon be attracted to the earth when we know there's nothing between them? There's no rope connecting the moon to the earth. So why
Right.
is the moon attracted to the earth? We're trying to, right? So
Mhm.
the same question exists for a magnet. Why are two magnets having action at a distance between them? We're trying to answer the action at a distance question. why is there action at a distance in this universe? Why do things seem to have actions at distance, like gravity and like magnets? So a magnet is going to be begging the question. I'm still going to have to ask you, okay, let's create a space capsule and you simulate a magnet. I still need you to simulate either gravity or a magnet. Doesn't matter. I'm just trying to make you simulate um, action at a distance in order to get you to where I want you to be in the mindset. So a magnet is not going to answer because it's going to lead us down the same rabbit hole. I'm still going to ask you, okay, but why are two magnets attracted or repelled from each other at a distance without touching each other? Do you understand?
I don't understand why, but I understand what you're
You don't
saying.
understand? You
Oh
don't
yeah, yeah,
understand
no,
why? Anyway, a magnet doesn't work. Do you understand?
wait. Hang on.
Hmm.
Thank you, CLN Prime, for the super chat, my friend. He says, "Kiss my mass."
Hmm.
Kiss my maps.
That's gay.
Tell
he,
that,
he needs to remind us that he's gay.
tell that
That's
to Demok, bro.
it's
Tell
gay.
Demok it's gay. That's from
You
Demok.
know, gay men have this need to remind the universe they are gay.
It's a crazy part because, like, I don't think it doesn't make you gay, but like the allegation of gay, you're not helping. Like, no, like understand, like nothing you've done is gay at all. But the fact that it's been alleged that you are, and if someone heard him say that he thinks you are, and then that's all they heard, and then for the rest of the stream was listening and watching, they'd be like, yeah, okay. Because as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, that picture you probably were going out to slang. You were about to go just
It's like the
make that thing
ether
all
theory.
see through with
No,
stuff.
no. It's like the ether theory. It's like there's
Mhm.
so much evidence for the ether and there's so much evidence for the gayness of sea lion. It's like there's no counter evidence yet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what? You know what the
Hang on,
strongest evidence is?
What's
There's even stronger evidence because I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu too. So
Wait,
wait,
what belt
what?
are you?
That's not. Stop that. That's not. That doesn't make you gay at all.
are you sure about that? Because it seems pretty
Y-
gay to me.
It doesn't
Wait, what
seem
belt
gay
are
to
you?
me.
I'm only
It,
like a two-stripe white belt. So
You're a white
well,
belt?
yeah.
it depends on what you were how you were asking. So gi, I'm a purple, but no gi, I would be the equivalent of a brown.
Are you serious, Sean? Holy shit. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, dude, I've been doing this for about 12 years.
Nonetheless, man, a lot of people do it for, they never get to that level. So
Yeah, I usually stop around blue.
like, get tired
If
of getting
they
their ass whooped the whole time. Yeah. That's fucking
well,
impressive as shit, dude.
that's
Holy
your
shit.
job as a white belt. Just remember that.
Yeah, to be the front.
You're our spaz. You're our spazzes, and you teach us to
Yeah.
control people.
It's funny at the gym that I go to. I was known to be like very strong, but they always were like, would be like, yeah, you're so strong. It would be great if you could just learn not to use that.
Yeah.
So,
So here's the crazy thing. So I've been doing this for 12 years. The first 3 years, I never trained. I only did no-gi grappling tournaments. I learned YouTube, and I was able to pull off some pretty badass stuff. But the reason I was so good those first 3 years, because I literally went, no, I lost twice, 3 times in 3 years. But I'm very athletic, I'm strong, and I'm fast, right?
Mhm.
And same thing happened when I started training. It was a situation where he'd go, "I'm trying to show you this technique, but if you power through it, you're not going to learn the technique."
Yeah.
I went on a 2 year streak of losing uh, because I consciously wanted to stop using my strength. And then once I started winning using only technique, And my coach goes, all that strength shit, turn it on. And holy crap, you you're able to use less strength, but everything becomes easier. Getting techniques, using strength when techniques aren't working. But it gets you out of that mindset that your strength is going to save you. It's very important to learn that.
Gotcha. You know, definitely, yeah, because it'll just work against you. It's just energy that you're expending.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
When
weird.
I'd say 60% of my jiu-jitsu game is stopping you from doing what you want to do.
Yeah, fair
All
enough.
my submissions and all my I looked at jiu-jitsu kind of like how I look at debating. Remember I was talking to you about this, and I was telling you, we were talking
Oh
about this
yeah.
morning, where it's like I only ask questions. Well, in jiu-jitsu, I basically want to know what you're going to do, and then I want to counter that.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
life is a game. It's just all a big jiu-jitsu chess game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So we were talking about the ether, and I kind of had an idea of something. The way you are saying this, are you kind of giving the explanation of the ether? Because if you put two balls in a vat of oil, they would stay there, and you're saying that that median is what suspends them in that location?
I'm saying I'm aiming for the opposite. I'm trying to get two things to get closer to each other. I'm trying to get the apple to move towards the ground. I'm trying to get you to solve how to move the apple towards the ground. So I want the apple to be attracted to the ground. It's going to be suspended in mid-space. That's not a challenge. If we put a space capsule in the middle of space, the apple is going to be suspended. Hmm.
I feel like you're trying to invent something.
No, I'm not trying. I'm trying to use the Socratic method to bring you to the conclusion that I came to. But that's all.
Because the only other option I can think of are there's two other
Hmm.
options. It's
Hmm.
going to be the mass of those objects are going to do it. The rate is going to be different because of the masses, or
So
some
let's
type of
assume they're
or
massless.
okay.
Let's
Well,
assume the apple is massless. It's just it's an like a it's a balloon apple. It's almost massless, almost completely massless. So the
but it still has
mass,
mass. It's still represented. We can't change physics to
fine,
make the explanation.
fine, fine, fine. Fine. It doesn't matter. Look, just get the apple to somehow move towards accelerate towards the ground. However you want.
Okay, then I'm going to use my energy and I'm going to create a force on that apple and uh,
How? What energy? What do you mean?
oh yeah,
We're
oh
trying
my
to
bad. You said I wasn't there. I apologize.
no, but
I,
you cannot use oh, you cannot be there and you cannot use action at a distance. We're trying to simulate action at a distance. We're trying to solve how is the Earth attracting the apple without reaching out and grabbing it and pulling it towards the ground. How is it doing it?
by a force. I see. I don't know where we're going with it because I have an understanding of this, and my it's going to be mass attracts
I'll
mass.
give you. But how? Why would mass attract mass through a vacuum?
Due to a
There's an.
phenomena that I call gravity as my observational term.
I agree that there is gravity. I'm trying
Mhm.
to explain how it works. I'm trying to explain to you how gravity works. Why an apple decides one day to start accelerating towards the ground.
It doesn't do that though.
Okay, so what do you mean?
Over time, its little stem gets weaker, and then it can no longer support its mass, and that's
Hmm.
why. That's ultimately why it leaves the Earth
Why? Why is the yeah? But why is the Earth attracting the apple?
due to
How?
its
It's not
mass.
grabbing it. What?
Its mass. It's not grabbing it. It is not physically grabbing anything.
Yeah.
It's a physical manifestation. It appears to, but it's not.
Look, the Earth and the Moon, right? There's a complete void between the Earth and the Moon. How is the Earth attracting the Moon?
Everybody stop. Thank you again, Sea Lion Prime. Fucking hey, dude. You're fucking here. If Mr. Slaves drones on in the forest and no one's there to hear it, is it still insufferable to listen to? That's a paradox.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
We can
so
come back to the quantum nonsense.
no, I want to stay. I want to stay with this Apple thing because
Okay.
intrinsically, if
Mm-hmm.
we would either have to be here on Earth or in space. If we're in space and you want to then have this happen, then we have to add something. I've given you options to what we would have to do to make that happen. But
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
trying to tell me what the cause of this interaction is, I I would say at this point, just tell me what the cause of it is, and we can go from there. Because my fundamental understanding of gravity is going to always continue to be a force, and anything beyond that is going to be conjecture. It's just like
I
why.
don't disagree. I'm asking you for one level deeper. What's causing the force? I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm asking you to explain to me what is causing what we both agree on. We both agree there is a force
Hmm.
acting on the apple,
Okay.
causing the apple to accelerate. We both agree. The question is, no one is touching the apple. Usually, you need to push a car to make it move.
Hmm.
Usually, somebody needs to push something to cause it to move. Why is gravity not needing anything to push? How's that working?
Okay. So what you're trying to come to the conclusion of that there must be some median in between there causing this interaction, correct?
Yes.
Would it
Something
need to
must be
be,
between.
and it would have to be physical because of the descriptors
Yes.
that you've given me. Okay.
Yes.
How do you measure for ether?
Well, Michelson and Morley had it spot on, except for their
They failed.
device was yes,
So
because their
then,
device, yes, by my calculation, their device was, I think, 1,000 times too small. They needed basically a 10-kilometer radius interferometer. They used, let's say, 10 meters. So they were 1,000 orders of magnitudes off.
okay, I have
Sorry,
brainiacs in
sorry,
my
sorry.
chat. So
Three,
let me.
sorry,
So
three, three
what's
orders
up,
of
Cynthia?
magnitude. Yeah.
Um, for the brainiacs in my chat, would you guys say that? Wait, not would you guys say? Are there any other tests that were out there for for luminescent ether?
Yeah, there's plenty of them. They're all
Because
negative.
yeah, because that's what I'm trying to say. Because if the only issue is that they needed a bigger one, then they still would have gotten a small measurement of ether. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, Michelson-Morley was repeated with a completely different and smaller interferometer design in 1926 and reproduced the same result. Um, so Dayton Miller's results, when properly, here's the funny part, Sean. This is the ultimate troll. Uh, Dayton. They say Dayton Miller is evidence of ether in the ether wind, right?
Hmm.
Guess what the explanation is for Dayton Miller?
What's that?
The fucking Coriolis effect, bitch.
Jesus Christ.
The Coriolis effect creates what's called a quadratic Sagnac effect caused by differential time dilation to the arms of the interferometer as a function of the interferometer's position in the Earth's gravitational field relative to the rotational uh, force that's generated.
Now, Mr. Slave, if you can come up with a recited poem like that, it may be more believable. I just don't get like the biggest issue I have is what you're saying is instead of it being this phenomena that we can only observe and describe its effects, you're saying that you have a physical being meaning for what this is. Then I would say that if it would scope out to needing this big ass telescope to figure this out in space, I would say that that same physical product would be the reason why my lighter falls out of my hand into my desk. So we should be able to measure ether at that level as well.
Um, so I said the Michelson and Morley's experiment was 3 orders of magnitude off. No one has repeated Michelson and Morley with a 10-kilometer radius interferometer.
Well, the
So
1926 design repeated it, but they
what what's
But
the
hang on,
size?
but again, that's the problem. Okay, what I'm seeing hearing you say is that you need this instrument that is this much big to be able to measure this. But the problem is, and that would be the situation of explaining the Earth and the Moon, Earth and anything other objects being locked together, essentially. Um, if that were the case, that would mean that when we try to measure the rate of fall or the weight of something, we shouldn't be able to do it because it's at a scale that is too small to register this ether that is causing these things.
yeah the. So I'm trying to find the.
I don't understand, Sean, your question. Like, I don't
The
understand. I mean,
Okay,
we
so
we.
we can measure the gravitational influence between the moon and Earth, right?
I mean, I don't know what you mean by that, but we can
Okay,
certainly measure. Mhm.
w- we can measure the amount that we can measure. Well, I
We
don't
can
know what I'm
measure
getting for, but
the.
it's one of those situations where this if if the situation is you explain point A and B, moon, Earth, and what is in between them and what is keeping them together, and if it's not this observable effect that we describe and agree upon, then it would have to be the median, which makes it a very physical thing. That median would then encompass us here on Earth. What are we measuring, and what would we need to measure ether at my desk?
So the only way I know to measure it, basically, there's 2 ways. The simplest, most straightforward way is using an interferometer, but it would have to be very big. That's one way. Another
So
way
like,
is
what
to
about
use
like at LIGO?
LIGO is not an
No,
interferometer.
no, no, I
It's
understand that, but it would definitely have to factor in ether, right?
no. The,
Why?
the LIGO. No, I
Ether
mean no.
encompasses that tube, doesn't it?
Ether encompasses everything. This universe, the only thing that is so-called real is the ether. Everything we know and love is waves in the ether. All the elementary particles are waves in the ether. They are waves in the quantum field, but the quantum field is the ether.
I thought
So all
space
the
time.
part
I thought that was space time. The fabric.
I don't have space time. I have space. I don't need like I have time. I
So
don't have
you're
space time.
so ether is so basically you just instead of saying space time, you say ether.
No, I say space. I don't say space time. Space
Okay.
time is Minkowski's. Space
Okay,
time
watch
is a
this.
nice.
I can show you that's what you're doing. Explain to me why the apple falls.
So the apple falls because ether right now is flowing. By the way, you keep touching your mic, so everybody hears loud bangs whenever you. So I don't
Hey,
know who's doing
sometimes
that.
you
Anyway,
can't keep it tucked in your belt, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm, wor- I'm
I
worried
just
about you.
ever since you introduced me to that new genre of porn, I've just been obsessed, and I just can't stop. It's the
Wait, is he your
combination of
wait? Is he your furry guy?
no. That's a different
Oh,
guy. A resident.
still not helping your case.
Yeah. Well, okay. I did not. I've used the furry guy for purposes. He served the purpose of the server.
Jesus.
Oh, I love that there's no context.
I'll leave it at that.
Uh,
He is useful sometimes.
okay, so if the ether isn't accounted for in science, how are we able to predict the way we do?
Oh, good question, Sean.
Wait, what's the question? I didn't understand that.
If
If
ether is the
ether,
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you're gonna. I already forgot it.
If ether is if ether is not accounted for by the current state of science,
Mm-hmm.
how are our predictions as good as they are?
Yes, that was good.
Cool.
I mean,
We make a good team, Sean.
ether. Okay, so your premise is ether is not accounted for in science,
Correct.
but for me, ether is accounted for in science. Maxwell's equations describe the ether. Quantum field theory describes the ether.
Hmm?
Dark energy describes the ether.
Wait. So if I look up those terms you just said right now, they will express something about ether.
For me, yes. What do you
No,
mean?
wait,
If you look,
no, hang on, because that's the problem. So, and this is it's not a problem. It's a just clarification because
Mhm.
I honestly feel that the fabric of space, general relativity's explanation, is the same one you're holding to, but rather than
Mhm.
say the fabric of space, you want to hold it as the ether. So that's why I asked the question. The question was based on this. Calculations for galaxies, our solar system, the universe, you name it, they all adhere to a certain mathematical prediction. And they use these
Mhm.
predictions to come up with, to verify their theories and whatnot.
Mhm.
If they did that and
Mhm.
didn't account for the ether, then their predictions would be wrong. Now, you're now saying that they do incorporate the ether, and that's why I asked where I could source that. And you said for you it is. For me, again, I have to ask, is ether space time, the fabric of space?
No.
Do they hold the same properties? Do they do the same things?
I mean, in 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 GR, space is this space curves and bends and it's flexible. For me, the ether is must be incompressible fluid. It's an actual fluid that's incompressible and it has to flow in order to create gravity.
So you're
So
trying to
it's
make
not
you're
the
trying to
same.
make general relativity more mechanical. You've already said that. So ether really is just that, just in a physical sense,
Yeah, it's just a fluid.
in an undetectable.
Completely detectable.
Oh,
I can,
perfect.
I have,
Okay, so then that ether that is detectable should be detectable at my desk. How would I do that?
so you would build a 10 kilometer,
Hang on.
uh,
Stop, 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 stop. Super chat. Super chat. Again, Sea Lion Prime, you're here on the fucking panel. Incompressible or incomprehensible?
Got it. I would like to review the refinement of the Michelson-Morley paper. I know what
okay.
you're talking about, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Can I share my screen, Sean?
Yes, sir. You're able to, right? I think I have to
Uh,
add
if,
it.
if my boomer self can figure it out, yeah.
Present
You can
and
ask
then
you can ask Cat with Ebola about my abilities as a Discord admin. All right.
okay, there you go.
But thankfully, I've had more competent staff take over the process there. Thanks, guys.
Smart.
Okay, cool. So this is, I think, something that is not mentioned. This is a paper in response to the original Michelson-Morley experiment, as well as Dayton Miller, DC Miller. Dayton Miller being one person, which is always confusing to me because it sounds like two. So basically, what this says, let's just go to this. So, on the classical ether hypothesis, the well known theory of the experiment predicts a shift of the interference pattern proportional to the lengths of the path traversed by the interfering beams. Professor Miller used a large interferometer in which the light path was 65 meters long. However, they made criticisms of the issues that would be present in a interferometer of that size, reducing in the current work the light paths to 4 meters, and the required sensitivity being maintained by a particular arrangement, sealed metal case containing helium.
We lost your screen.
Yeah, you're,
Weird. That was weird.
God, you were right, Cat.
Where was he located, Dayton Miller? Where did he conduct the experiment?
The Mount Wilson Observatory and one other
Did it again.
location.
Where is that?
Oh, by the way, this is the book that Robert Sungenis wrote about against flat Earth, which is why he won't. It's why he doesn't kick it with the Ether boys. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So let's see.
Okay, look, 65 meters is nice, but it does. By my calculations, he should still get a null result.
Yeah, well, this one is only 4 meters, and my point is that these are also showing a null result, and this is a null result of the detection of Miller as well as Michelson-Morley. So this gets really technical, and then there's all this detail around calculating the fringe shifts under the assumption of an ether. Then it says the theory of Michelson-Morley is given too often in the discussion here, but turns out that as the apparatus is rotated through a right angle, the interference pattern should be shifted as if by a change of the length of one path by a fraction of a wavelength, whose maximum is this thingamajiggy. And they do
cosine squared shouldn't show up. I don't know. The point is, look, what is he trying? What is he assuming is the speed of the ether horizontally? That's my question. Did he say what he's looking for?
I think
what
this
is
ether would be stationary as per Michelson-Morley. But this also mentions Dayton Miller, so I need to read this more carefully in that regard. But because what they say is this. Basically...
Yeah, I looked at Mount Wilson, I think, is in California.
Yeah, it's a famous observatory in LA.
So it's very close. I mean, it's relatively close to the equator. Anyway, I would say the Earth is moving at 300 meters per second, basically. So you're looking for a 300 meter per second. You need something of 10-kilometer radius to be rotated. I don't think you can get away with anything smaller.
Well, I would like to see those calculations. I mean, everything works out as far as I can tell here on the surface.
What are they assuming in the paper you're reading? What are they assuming is the speed of the ether? What are they trying to detect?
I think they're trying to detect movement relative to a stationary ether, as in Michelson-Morley.
That's impossible. If you're assuming the ether is not moving, then an interferometer is not going to help you detect it.
Yeah, but if you look at the original Michelson-Morley paper,
Michelson and Morley assumed 30 kilometers a second.
Yeah, but that was the orbital velocity of the Earth.
Yeah, so that's what they were looking for. That's why they thought they could get away with a 10-meter interferometer.
Yeah,
but since
fun, right? The theory is,
I don't care about, honestly, with all due respect, I don't care about their theory. They didn't have a theory.
Well, this is their theory. Michelson and Morley didn't, but this is the key thing that I think is missed in discussion of this paper is what the actual hypothesis was. On the undulating theory, according to Fresnel, and that's the theory of the Fresnel luminiferous ether and thereby the ether drag that would be entrained by a body moving through the ether. The ether is supposed to be at rest except in the interior of transparent media, in which secondly is supposed to move with a velocity less than the velocity of the medium in the ratio blah, 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 based on the index of refraction. These two hypotheses give a complete and satisfactory explanation of aberration. The second hypothesis, notwithstanding its seemingly improbability, must be considered as fully proved, first by the celebrated experiment of Fizeau. The experimental trial of the first hypothesis forms the subject of the present paper, meaning the ether being at rest.
Then how will a interferometer help you if the ether is at rest? I honestly don't understand that.
Because the ether is entrained through space as per the Fresnel drag theory.
I don't know what to tell you. Moving fluid appears to drag light along so that light traveling in opposite directions to the fluid flow would have different velocities. What velocity are they trying to get? That's the question. What? Just tell me the size. Tell me the size of the arm of the interferometer. If it's
Well, I
if
think
it's
that you can build a variety of different interferometers that would meet the requirements. It's a question of the sensitivity to the fringe shift, and that can be derived as a function of the interfer. Like if you look at this here, there's a full derivation of the fringe shift as a function of the length of the interferometer arms.
sure. Look, you
So
could either. Okay, I didn't publish any papers, but there's multiple ways. The question is, what is the sensitivity of the equipment?
No, we'd have to dive into that in more technical detail, but that can be derived as a function of the arrangement of the interferometer and the length of the light. Basically,
No, it's usually
the idea.
okay. So the question is, what type of light were they using? So if you're using visible light, then let's say a 10 meter. If you're using visible light, you need 10-kilometer arm. If you're using
So
if you're using
what's the source of that calculation?
I'll show you I mean, there's videos I made. I can go through them again. Anyway, but you can use smaller wavelength like X-ray, and then you can reduce the size, or you can go with gamma rays, and you can further reduce the size. I think you can even go down to 1 meter interferometer if you use gamma rays, but then I don't know how you're going to get your hands on that. That's one solution. Another solution is to build a 10-kilometer radius, but just by folding up fiber optic, like optic fiber. So you can have a 10-kilometer optic fiber back and forth one way and back and forth in 90 degrees.
I don't know. I need to see the math for 10-kilometer. I mean, Dayton Miller didn't seem to think that was required. Mickelson and Morley didn't seem to think that was required.
No. Mickelson, look, I've gone. Yeah, we can go through the calculations anytime you want. If you want, we can do it right now.
Sure, do it right now.
Do it right now. Okay. So let's pull up the equation for the interferometer, right? There is an interferometer equation. Let's pull up any YouTube video and we'll get the equation from there.
Oh God, the realm is trying to say that his tetanus has a particular hertz frequency.
Tetanus?
What the fuck? That is so bizarre. My tetanus is C sharp. How did you determine that? What was Hallie suggesting? He kept asking everyone if they had tetanus, and I had no idea where the fuck he was going to go with it because it's just. Have you ever had him on your panel, Sean?
Rome? No, but I've talked to him many of times. He's been around a long time. I used to call him the numbers. I call him the numbers guy. He makes just random fucking numbers. He just throws them in like the way Witted word salads. He number salads.
Oh yeah, he does.
And then it's weird because he's like concave, but he's not. It's like
realmer.
It's like a spaceship Earth. I don't even know what you call it. Have you ever seen it?
No. He doesn't usually talk about that too much.
You remember that movie, Last Navigator? The kid with the spaceship?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
He told me how he figured out the frequency of his tinnitus. He hummed the
Wow.
note.
Yeah, I see that. His concave, weird looking Earth looks like that ship.
I posted a link in the chat to a video. I'll give you the
Okay.
timestamp.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Appeal to YouTube fallacy, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's see.
Let me find the equation.
Do I
Oh
need to
my
play
god,
it or
this
just
is
you just need to see it?
no. I'll give you the timestamp. I just need the. It's towards the end. I mean, he develops the equation. That's not it. Let me open it.
Because I think the problem is that the interferometer was flawed in that it would never be able to detect under special relativity. It can never detect orbital movement except for the radial component of orbital movement, which is almost impossible to detect.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Yeah, for
Under
real.
special relativity, the Michelson or
Under what? Under
any
what?
you cannot
Under.
you cannot detect translational or absolute velocity using interferometry.
Why not?
It just doesn't work. It's harder to explain, but basically the only reason the Sagnac effect can, which is essentially a similar effect to what's happening in like a Michelson interferometer, the only reason that that produces a fringe shift that is measurable in the way that it is because of the constancy of the speed of light. Now, the ether drag hypothesis or ether wind is a way to try to explain the observed necessity for an anisotropy of the speed of light. But the issue that you have is that we have now shown experimentally that absolute motion is not measurable with interferometer. The only motion that is measurable is rotational motion. And to explain why that's the case has to do precisely with special relativity. When you have a translational or absolute motion relative to an interferometer, that translational motion does not affect the speed of light. There's no additive effect in the direction of motion.
Why not?
Therefore, there's no fringe shift that is established because there's no additive effect of the waves overlapping each other. It's only in rotational motion that we observe the Sagnac effect, precisely because the speed of light is constant. And as we rotate the interferometer from a certain reference frame that is centered within the interferometer, light has to travel in a longer distance on one side and a shorter distance on the other. And because the light can't speed up, it must move at the same speed in both sides of the loop. It combines in a way that produces a fringe shift. Hence, you can only ever measure, and this is how the ether boys and Witsit will try to trip you up, is they will try to bait and switch to say that you can't measure any motion. And it's a tricky script that they use. But basically, the truth of the matter is you would never be able to measure absolute or translational motion with an interferometer. And it's precisely because of special relativity that that's the case, because there's no additive velocity of the speed of light. The only reason when you rotate it, it produces a fringe shift is that the rotation effectively causes one side to contract relative to the other. The path length is slightly smaller on one side than it is on the other side, but the light can't go faster in the longer direction, so it can't catch up. Therefore, there's a difference in the timing of the two beams of light arriving at the point of the detector, and that causes a measurable fringe shift in the interference pattern.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically you're saying that even at 300 meters per second, a 10-kilometer interferometer is going to be experiencing length contraction just by a little bit, but that is the little bit of the waves that I'm trying to measure. So I'm
Yes.
never going to measure an interference.
You will measure an interference only in rotation because of the difference in lengths on the two loops. Because of special relativity, as you add to the velocity in that direction, and I'm not sure if this would change as you reach relativistic velocities.
No, it's nothing. You
but-
don't need relative. Even at 300 meters per second, over a 10-kilometer arm, you're going to get a few micrometers of length contraction, but that's enough to throw off those few micrometers of the wavelength that you're measuring. So you're never going to accomplish to measure. An interferometer is always bound to fail.
In the translational direction, but I'm not sure that your explanation is 100% correct.
No. My explanation is 100,000% correct. Now I'm gonna sit down. I'll do the calculations. This is very interesting. I never thought about, because I thought at 300 meters per second there's no special relativistic effects, but over a 10-kilometer arm, we'll see the numbers. It might be that I'm going to get a micrometer, and that's going to throw me off.
No, I don't think that that's the case, because the key distinction is between the lack of a measurable effect on the speed of light in an absolute translational motion versus a rotational one. And
why do you keep saying rotational? I mean, we rotate the interferometer just to get the two paths to change, the length to change. I mean, not the length, but the time.
The rotation of the Earth would be accomplishing that. When you look at the orbit, you can decompose the orbit at any point in time into a translational component, which is an absolute velocity vector, and a rotational component, which is an angular velocity vector. The angular component, amortized over a 365-day period, is extremely small.
I'm running the experiment over. No. I'm running. My experiment is supposed to be run within a few seconds. You do the complete rotation over a few seconds. You don't need over even 1 second. I don't care. You do the rotation very quickly.
But
the question is,
all you're going to be measuring, as per special relativity, is not an ether, but rather a measured difference in the time taken to traverse two different paths, one of which becomes effectively longer by the rotation of the apparatus. And that difference in length, though small, because the speed of light is constant in all reference frames, produces a relativistic fringe shift, which is the only correct physical interpretation and prediction of the Sagnac effect. And I can provide you with a paper.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. Special relativity comes out of the ether. You don't need to prove to me anything. So I'm completely on board with SR. But I never thought to consider the length contraction of the arm in my detection. So I'm going to look into that. Anyway.
I posted a paper that you can read that goes through. It goes through. I just posted in the general chat. It's called Sagnac effect, correct and incorrect, and it goes through all of the correct derivations and all of the incorrect ones, and basically describes the application of special.
This is so incredible. I mean, this interferometer experiment, because even Michelson and Morley, their equipment was just below the tolerance that is expected. They had a 0.0005 whatever tolerance, which is just half of an order of magnitude below what they needed to detect a signal. So they should have detected noise, and I kept getting it bothered me all the time. Why are they at least not getting proper noise? But that could be an explanation. It could be that that any like an interferometer will always fail in detecting the ether. It could be a
quick
fool's
question.
errand.
Quick question from the chat to you, Mr. Slave. What does mechanical mean here?
When I say mechanical, the universe is mechanical, meaning the universe is like a bunch of billiard balls. At the end, the universe is, there's cause and effect that a baby can see and understand. If a baby could see the way the electron interacts with a photon, a baby will understand it. It should be understandable to you, me, anyone, if we could see it. But because we can't see it, and it's who knows what kind of billiard balls we're talking about. They're spinning and bouncing. It's like we don't know what's going on there. So we're having a hard time figuring out what's going on at the quantum level. But the quantum level is not the ultimate. There is one more layer, the ether layer. But the ether is mechanical, and the quantum world is waves in the ether, which are mechanical. And of course, the universe is mechanical. The universe is completely understandable. The universe is not weird.
Well, it's understandable, but it's not.
Understood.
It's not necessitated to be a certain way. So let me share my screen again because this one is important. I think that you have to read this paper in order to understand the Michelson experiment and why we would not have an expectation of measuring an orbit. And because, especially if you ever decide to debate the ether boys, they're going to grill you on this. They will say that we should be able to measure an absolute motion, and we can't with interferometry, thus the Earth doesn't move. And it's sneaky the way that they sneak this in. But here is a great paper. So this is by G.B. Malakin. Because the other thing that Alan has said is that there is no relativistic derivation of the Sagnac effect, which is not true. So he gives the correct explanations. Sagnac effect in special relativity, Sagnac effect in general relativity, computing the Sagnac effect for electromagnetic waves in anisotropic media, and then main results. Then he gives conditionally correct explanation. This is what I was talking about, the quadratic Sagnac effect, which is partially correct in some situations. Sagnac effect in quantum mechanics. Again, this has to do with the Coriolis forces.
Wait, what are you discussing now? I don't have a question right now. I mean,
I'm just.
I need.
Yeah.
I need to go through the calculations and see if, or the thought. I need to go through the. Go ahead.
Start with this paper because, like, for instance, here, Sagnac effect, and this is all the incorrect explanations.
I usually don't read papers.
Well,
I usually start from first principles and I just think through things, and I only look elsewhere if I am unable to make progress.
Sea Lion, I suggest you read this in a recording, then we'll upload it, and then we'll watch.
What's cool? I want to make a video on this topic with Tapioca Weasel. And Jesse has actually done some of his own interferometry, so I think it would be a really useful video to have because this is a very niche and difficult to understand topic. And yeah.
So there's a second test experiment that I can propose, that I have proposed. And that has to do with a vertical accelerator, a vertical particle accelerator.
A virtual particle accelerator. Okay.
A vertical particle accelerator. Yeah, not a virtual. A vertical.
Is that different from a regular one?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a ring collider, right? It would go up and down.
It just goes down.
So it's like a particle yeeter.
Okay, so a drag strip looking CERN.
It could be like the space yeeter, Sean, perhaps.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The space yeeter, yeah, the one that does the loop-de-loop and then sends it up in a vertical direction. Yeah, that would work.
No. So you just build a vertical usually a particle accelerator is a circle, but sometimes you can have a linear particle accelerator. So this is going to be a linear vertical particle accelerator.
Okay.
But I think it can be very short. I think you can house it even in your home office. So this vertical particle accelerator, all you need to do.
Wait, hang on. Did you just say the particle accelerator you're talking about would fit on your desk?
I mean, the original particle accelerators were tiny. Of course, they used to fit in
Oh,
a home office.
really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
I only equate a particle accelerator with CERN.
I mean, the bigger they are, the more energy they can impart onto the colliding particles, and then you can just break them further and get more subatomic phenomenon. But the original ones,
Mhm.
was the home office. Like it could fit on your desk.
Holy
You could
shit!
probably build one at home.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
tabletop particle accelerator, no big deal. Let's have Jesse build it for us. He's
I
good at that
want
kind of stuff.
one. I want one for my
All
shelf.
right, Jesse, if you're watching the stream, you gotta. Oh, I'll just tag him, but you need to build a table.
He's gonna need to mass produce those because
I'm
he's
gonna
gonna need
go.
all of
I'm
them.
gonna. Are we gonna stay for longer? Because I need to take a break.
Actually, no. I'm gonna end it in probably a few minutes. I
Oh,
got
okay.
stuff to do, so no, it's all good, all good. Actually, I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Slave. Earlier, we kind of got off to a rough start, but absolutely do appreciate you coming in and explaining it, and I do hope you come back. I mean, I have
Oh,
enjoyed this.
thank you. I enjoyed it
Yeah,
because usually when I look to talk to people, usually it's very hard because smart people behave like babies when they are in large groups.
yeah.
So,
You say that,
so,
Mr. Slave. Is it the feedback that you received on your manuscript?
I think
oh,
he's. I think he's. I think his analysis on that is absolutely spot on. I think when you get a bunch of really smart people in one room, they all start ego flexing. They're like, "Oh, I'm smart. No, man, I'm smart." And you're like, "But I'm smart." And they're like, "No, but I'm smart." And then you're like, "Oh."
Exactly.
it's not. But it's not even I'm smart. It's like they're babies. It's you can't talk to them. It's either they're impossible to talk to. Impossible. I couldn't get it. Like having this conversation with you now. That's like a conversation. I'm not asking for much. I'm just
Oh yeah, I
asking
agree.
to talk.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
ultimately is why I do these streams a lot, is because the big forum is a good place to start these things, but like what happens is like you try to get in depth with somebody and then NASA shield comes in and ruins it because he doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. And then so then you're able to like just branch off and come to a panel like this, and then it's more intimate. It's more, you don't have to worry about if Joe Schmo is gonna jump in out of nowhere and tell you about his fucking cat. So yeah, no, it makes it easier and better to have the conversation. I absolutely agree with that. Um,
Definitely.
you have a YouTube channel, right? Um,
Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna get you a link. Give me a second to get you a link.
awesome. And I'll throw that out there. So what I do at the end of every stream is I basically give the people on the panel, um, everybody stop, everybody stop. I need to start using this instead of saying doing all that stop shit. I'm just gonna do this. Actually, I don't know if I can use it anymore. Hang on, because let's go, Flo. I'm gonna start doing that because that mutes everybody, and I keep forgetting that. But Sea Lion, thank you for the super chat. I absolutely appreciate it. He says, "Who is the worst Glober, and why is it NASA shill?" He is. He can't have a conversation. He's a liability, and there is nobody worse. And believe it or not, many of groups have come to this conclusion. It is not a just me opinion. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And what's crazy
Wait,
is he's old as fuck. Like he's dirt old.
I know.
Like dirt old. Like last night, yeah, shit was funny as fuck. Mr. Slave, and now it's kept jumping in their conversation, people. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Out of nowhere, Mr. Slave goes, I can hear your teeth. I was like, oh my God, because I heard it too. You heard him click. Am I wrong? It's exactly, I heard it.
Like, how many thousands of years old are you?
Yeah, he's got to be. I honestly think I'm pretty sure he's late 60s, 70s. I think. I'm
Are
pretty
you
sure.
kidding? Late
No, he's
60s?
old.
No,
He's
he's got to be
fucking
late 80s,
old.
90s. He's 100.
Might
No,
as
You
he's
well
don't
not.
be.
need.
No, Blue is I think the oldest person on the server.
Blue does not have age. Him and God decided that they weren't going to give him an age. It just
Yeah,
worked out better that way.
yeah,
Love you, Blue.
yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
love you, Blue.
Blue engineered the
Oh,
first wheel.
also, you know who also loves Blue? The Bevites, because they
Oh,
keep
jeez.
sensing him, but they can't stop talking about him.
Oh, you have.
Talk
Hey,
about him over there.
remember when I was telling you about like the different attributes of Globers and shit, and like I was
Yeah,
talking about how Blue is like the nice one, and he explains very well and all that shit.
yeah,
The negative side of Blue, that's the asshole Blue, as I call it, the warranted one, is because of those guys.
oh, okay, yeah,
He's always done the oven mitt thing on his uploads and stuff, but then had the good way of conversating. It's those guys, those bev fuckers, that gave any clearance to his brain to go, I now have to be assholes to these assholes.
yeah.
So it's
No
definitely
one can,
warranted, but they are the ones who are at fault for anything like where he gets like, "Urgh." It's
yeah, yeah,
because of them. It's because I didn't mean asshole. If you're out there, but I didn't mean like an asshole. But I mean you could be an asshole to him. But like I said, it's warranted. How would you say that without being an asshole? Me being
Wait,
the asshole
Sean.
saying it. What's up?
You know the Dave Chappelle sketch, the World Series of Dice, where he's introducing Leonard Washington. He says, "Papa don't take no mess, and neither does Leonard."
Yeah,
That's
there you
how.
go. That's the best way of saying it. Perfect.
Wait, Sean, you're in your late 50s.
Late 50s.
Damn, motherfucker! I'm in my early 40s. Does this does that look like the fucking man? What the fuck? You want me to see me do some push-ups real quick? No. I'm 43 years old,
Okay.
and when I
But you're
cut my hair,
turning.
when I cut my
Okay,
hair
okay.
tonight, all this gray goes away.
I see. Okay. Yeah, the gray throws it off. Maybe because the sunlight, so it's extra gray, but okay. Yeah, because
No,
you
no,
don't have
no.
any
It is
wrinkles.
no. When I cut my hair, uh, I
Okay.
instantly go back to my 30s. If I shaved my goatee, holy crap, I'd look like I was 15. It would look weird. I
Okay.
would look fucking weird. But I digress. So you have a YouTube channel. Oh, so at the end of my streams, what I usually do is I give the panelists 30 seconds. I was gonna say minutes. 30 seconds to a minute to like just promote your channel, get out a final point maybe. That way, before we wrap it up, everyone gets that information. And I actually already have your YouTube channel, and I'll put that in the chat for everybody.
Okay. So 30 seconds about my channel. I'm basically streaming a couple of hours lately, like a couple of hours a day. I'm just streaming me studying physics and debating people and talking to friends. It's very similar to Destiny. Like I learned it from Destiny. Destiny does everything on stream. He studies, he researches, but then he takes it off stream. But I don't know if he leaves it on for paid subscribers or something. But for me, everything I leave on, so you can see all my my progress as I'm progressing through studying advanced physics.
Oh,
Nice.
there's a great quote by Gary Vee. He says, "Document, don't create." I think that's
Good.
yeah. So I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Slave for YouTube decided to recommend his channel to me, and he's been a good sport despite being fresh meat in Globe Gangster. And had some very helpful edits to his initial manuscript, which hopefully he'll take into consideration, and he'll learn the lesson not to share open manuscripts on Google Docs with a Discord server he doesn't know. Lessons were learned by all. But it's been a great sport, and I think we actually made some progress today on the stream in terms of talking about the interferometry and stuff. So hopefully we can just keep having good conversations in the future.
You got any events coming?
Join the Globe Gangsters, whether you're globe or flat. If you are a flatty, yeah, they sometimes it's like sharks in a feeding frenzy, but we try to.
It's like piranha.
You don't have any debates or anything scheduled, do you?
Yeah, Alan and both Alan and Shane, I think. Shane is supposed to debate on gravity, but oh god, I don't want to do that one, honestly. To be honest, like it's just going to be like an avalanche. But the one with Alan on quantum mechanics is I just except he just took up on his debate challenge on that one. And then I am trying to get Alan and Shane to agree to a blind debate on their cartography thing, but so far they have been unreceptive. So
offer them $20. Let them know I'll pay it. I tell you, that's what I'm gonna do.
I've set the bar too high already with Shane, so $20 is gonna cut it.
You can't feed the animals. All right, guys. Globe Gangster description will be in the description. Or what did I say? Globe Gangster server link will be in the description. Momentarily, I'm over there right now getting the link. I need some type of notepad that I can just pull up. All right, it will be in the link by the time the stream ends. Okay, guys. I am going to do the fun part where I remove your ass. All right, people. I actually really enjoyed today. I got to actually have a good conversation with Mr. Slave. Actually, a conversation. That was actually the official first time we had a conversation. We had conversated earlier, but like he was saying, in a room full of vultures, it's kind of hard to have this one-on-one. I actually absolutely appreciate Sea Lion Prime because I keep telling you motherfuckers I'm stupid. So a lot of the stuff he had to clarify for me and help me out to understand. And the same goes for Mr. Slave. He helped me out a lot too because there's some stuff I didn't get that they did explain. This also furthers my point with my whole gravity as a force thing. Because if you were confused by what was happening, there is no reason to ever try to use it as an explanation. And I can tell you right now, I have yet to meet a person who can explain. That's not true. I have actually met a lot of people that can explain general relativity. If you can't explain these concepts clearly, so that I understand it, you're not giving me a reason to ever want to give a fuck about general relativity in the sense of using it wise. And again, a lot of the stuff we were talking about is just based on calculations being trusted prior to your idea, I guess you would say. But hey, to each their own. Trying to think if there's anything off my head. I'm looking at my little notes right now. No, I think that is it for today. I don't have anything planned, luckily. Last week, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Last week, I stretched myself real thin. I decided to do, I think I was involved in counting mine at least 8 different panels last week. It was too much. I won't be doing that shit again. I definitely stretched myself thin. I had fun. I enjoyed it. I definitely liked getting back out there. I used to do that all the time, but as for just deciding to do it in 1 week out of nowhere, wasn't the smartest of ideas, but I had fun. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out MC Toon's channel. I was on there for a while. We hung out, BS'd about Arwen and the final experiment. I was on, there's a bunch of channels. There's just channels that have nothing to do with this that I was on as well. But that day, yeah, I think it was Wednesday. That was a rough day. But I had fun. I enjoyed it, and I like being back out there again. And I plan on being out here a lot more, doing a lot more things. Like I said, I'm going to get the debate between our Glover and Flat Earther set up for very soon. The when and where is usually the hard part, but I'll do that in the back of the scenes so you guys don't have to worry about that. And I'll let you guys know for the next one. I will not be streaming tomorrow. I know that for sure. I will be up and out early, and then I won't be home until late in the day. But hey, look out for, never know. I've been hanging out over at the Globe Kinks. There's a lot. You never know. I may end up live streaming from their panel just to say see what's going on. Depends on if I get involved. I have a lot of recordings from there. That's what I'll do. I may do a premiere tomorrow morning, and that would be, actually, that's a great idea. That would be the conversation that Totoro and Mrslave had yesterday. Kind of gave me the reason I wanted to talk to him. And I'll say this, Totoro is a very good ambassador for explaining general relativity in this community, I guess you would say. He's not trying to embellish the reality of it. He's not trying to discredit anything, physics, Newtonian, and anything else that we understand to come to a conclusion. So I think right now he's at the top of the list of the people that are explaining general relativity honestly. But I'll do that. I'll play that as the premiere for tomorrow. And then other than that, like I said, I'm going to start my members thing up. I just got approved, so I just got to click accept. But again, if you guys choose to be members, you will literally be seeing stuff that I will never show on here. Don't think you're going to see some fucking illegal X-rated shit. Nothing like that. It's just conversations that I wouldn't allow on my panels, or 90% of the people that create content would never show because of the way they talk and what they're saying, and the explicit alcohol and or drugs that are consumed in these conversations would be the primary reason you'll never see these in just a regular upload. But I figured if I got over 1,000 files of recordings from stuff over 10 years old, why not start playing the juicy stuff? But yeah, that's the goal. That's going to be the plan with that. I'm going to try to think of some other stuff to add to it to make it worth it. But again, in all the time that I've had it, I never turned it on or even looked at it to figure out how to set it up. So I'm seeing what's going to be there, and I'm seeing if I'm even comfortable with it. I mean, that's the only way you guys are ever going to see those uploads. But I figured it'd be a good way to at least promote it in some way, and you guys get to see the dirt that I've seen over the years that no one else gets to see. I'm pretty sure you guys can realize I'm already in that stage where I just start fucking ranting for no goddamn reason. So it's always easy if I do this. Thank you guys for being here. I fucking absolutely appreciate it, and I will see you guys myself on Wednesday.
If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful your guess is. It doesn't make a difference how smart you are who made the guess or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I don't ever bother with a critic. Hit him with a chronicle of Riddick. Boom, bottle full of Ritalin. I hit him with a little bit of riddle me this, riddle me that. My bad, fell asleep at the gas. No time to wait though. Elon Musk, I'm trying to bankroll. New Tesla just cause I say so. Electric whip like Ivan Vanko. I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is Hey, spinning. If you know, you know, I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it.
I've been on a mission like totally spice. I'm bad, she bad, but she totally nice. Nails are blue and her toes feel like white. They complete me, met jou, dat is zo voor mijn lijk. He knew it for sure, but he left with a